Hello and welcome to the Abundology podcast and our 2026 astrology forecast. I cannot believe I've been doing these forecasts quarterly for the past 5 years, and they've become like one of my favorite traditions here on the podcast. For the first few years, the forecasts were with the wonderful astrologer Deborah Norton, and then Deborah took a well-deserved break, and the amazing Teresa Tran stepped in and kept us all grounded astrologically for a while. And now Deborah is back. And I'm so excited to have her here for our return for the 2026 forecast. So, welcome, Deb. Nice to have you back.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. I do take my breaks. As you know, I've done it before. Um, I have a very strong internal voice when it comes to doling out advice. I'm very, very mindful and careful. It's a lofty quest to give people advice, and to tell people about themselves. It's not something that I've ever really like quested for. It's just I love astrology. And what comes with loving astrology is telling people about astrology and generally giving readings. And so it's not something that I take lightly at all. And so every so often I start to feel like I have to quote unquote succeed with astrology. And I get kind of wrapped up in it, and I have to promote it, and I have to website it, and I have to TikTok it, and I have to, you know, succeed at it. And then I lose it. And I started doing that again. This has happened to me a couple times. And anytime I start to push at it too hard and work the business of it too hard, I lose it. And then and the magic kind of wears off. And that happened to me. And it's like when that happens, it happens in one full, like, it's over, Deb. Like there's this voice in my head that says, it's over, you've got to stop. Like, and I have to listen to it. And that means canceling readings I had on the calendar and refunding money. Like it's a voice that I cannot not hear and I can't obey immediately. And it's not convenient and it's not graceful and it's not the way I necessarily like to behave, especially if I have to cancel things that people were looking forward to. But it is something that I have no control over. And it's just when I take this work so seriously that if I were to ever phone it in, I couldn't keep going. And so that is what happened to me a couple years ago. And then when it's over, it's over.
Yep.
And
When
I
it's
just
over,
wake
it's
up one
over.
day and I'm like, it's over. I want it. I have things to say again. And someone that I love, both of us love, someone that came to me through you, showed up on Facebook and I saw her beautiful face and I was like, how are you? And she's like, I'm great. Do you still do readings? And I'm like, for you? Absolutely. And we sat down and did a reading and it was so beautiful and magical and wonderful. And I was like, Renee, I'm back. When can we do your podcast?
I think those were your exact words too. And what I love is that you're coming back like right now because
Yeah.
2026 astrology is like big.
Yeah, it
This
really
year,
is.
yeah, year of new identities, new ideas, moving forward.
Yeah.
So there's so much happening. I would love to just jump right in.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it is very exciting right now. And it's all very positive. I mean, it's what it is. Let's face it. It's not positive or negative. I am I am making a choice to spin it all upward. Because that is a choice. Like it's just energy. And
Yes.
energy is at our disposal. And I am really uplifted right now because I just listened to another episode of my favorite podcast, which is called The Telepathy Tapes. Now,
Mm.
Renee, have you been in on this
Yeah,
podcast?
I have definitely listened. Yes.
Okay, because it has changed a lot for me about the way that how I've always been really skeptical about a lot of things, like almost too real. My Taurus in my chart is a big bummer sometimes because it does cut me off from really like and the fact that I've been in a couple cults. Like, let's face it.
Oh, yes.
I
Yeah,
cut
the
my
Colts.
yeah,
Yes.
it's the cult, right? I cut myself off from like letting myself take that like magical leap into magical thinking, as it can be called sometimes. And I have to be really careful. Obviously, we know, as we've seen in the last many, many years, ever since Neptune moved into Pisces in 2011, that cults have taken, especially online cults, and things like Nexium and things like QAnon, they really took us away, a lot of us. And so I've been very, very careful with what I'll let myself kind of, indulge in. Even things like the Schumann resonance, things that we all like, those of us in sort of the metaphysical world, like, it's so fun. It's so fun to go into those worlds and really let yourself just kind of go. But I've had a real party pooper in my head and in my soul, always just saying, you have to read both sides, read the science, stay up, And so I haven't felt that sense of wonder in so long until I listened to the telepathy tapes. And there's just stuff happening. Like you just can't not
Right.
hear and
Right.
see with your own ears when you if you listen to that podcast that there are things happening in consciousness now. There are things
Mhm.
happening, like
Yeah.
it's happening. It's so exciting and I cannot be not thrilled about it. And I just listened to an episode before we sat down, on creativity and how creativity is an actual force in the universe, and things that want to be born into our material world, they just float around, and whoever has the antennae to pick it up, because they're sitting there ready to pick it up, whoever gets going to get that idea or that fully formed song or that fully formed story or invention, whoever is ready gets it. Whoever is aligned to that idea gets it, gets to have it, gets to birth it, gets to
Well,
create it. And it,
which is so cool is we're at, ending 2025,
yeah,
where we're really getting a break
yeah,
before we had this next cycle starts, before this next year of astrology starts,
yes,
to really have this downtime to get back grounded and back to center, and
yes.
that before we start yet. And stuff doesn't happen if you're busy all the time. If you're
No,
not aware
you
and you're
have
on
to sit.
autopilot, you don't, the stuff doesn't come to you.
That's exactly right. And I want to frame this whole year's update forecast around creativity because we are in a birth year. Saturn is in Aries. We are starting over. We are starting fresh, a 29-year cycle of Saturn going all the way from Aries again from the beginning. We all get to have a rebirth this year. And not just with Saturn, but also Neptune. So, our big old planet out there that is our bridge between what's real, what we can see, what we can touch, what's tangible, what's already here on the earthly plane. Neptune is the bridge to everything else, everything that we can't see or touch. Neptune is now coming into realness in Aries after this long journey in its home in Pisces, but it kind of ran wild. It's like too much of a good thing. Look where we are. Look at the mass delusion. Look where we
Yes.
are. Now, okay, so the big thing I want to say is it is not our job to try to fix it. We need to get out of that. Like, and it's obvious I'm talking about all the political crap. Like, it's not our job to fix that. Like, we get one vote. We can be politically active. We know those things, and we are doing those things. Like, I've been very encouraged to see all the people active and all the people protecting their neighbors and jumping out there. And I'm not going to talk about a lot of that today because what I'm going to talk about is the fact that the revolution is happening. We're in it right now, but we're also in the place of primordial soup of it all. In that space of the edge of chaos that I love to talk about is where creation begins. We are in the soup of it all. We are in the chaos. We cannot wait for it to settle. We don't wait. We now create. We are in creation. Okay. So we just start building the world we want now. We don't wait for elections. We don't wait. We don't wait. We start it now. The astrology is lined up for us to begin to build the lives and the world that we want for ourselves and our children and their children now. We don't ask for permission. We don't elect people to do it for us. We do it. And it starts at home, and it starts locally, and it starts by connecting to people who have shared interests. And we have nothing but connection at our disposal, whether it's in person, whether it's online. Like, we are connected. We're
Yeah.
connected. We have no excuses. And so the energy this year is that. It's like, okay, the everything is falling apart. So are you going to just sit there and watch it, or are you just going to get busy rebuilding now? Now is the time. It's not an election year. It's now. It's now. It's time to just not be obsessed with all of that anymore. It's all fallen apart. Right?
Yeah, we see it daily in front of our eyes. You can see it all falling apart. And I know that we've talked about this before. What has kept me hopeful this whole entire time is how incompetent I know the man is. I worked for large companies for many, many years,
Yes.
and they're so incompetent, the people leading that. So to see now the incompetence of our government, it just it's kept me hopeful.
The
And now,
patriarchy has fallen.
yes.
Dot. It's fallen.
Yes.
Okay. We don't just wait now for them to figure out how to build it back.
No, we build it back.
we now build something else.
Yes.
On top of the ruins of it all. Now, Pluto is in Aquarius. We're not waiting for it anymore. Pluto's in Aquarius. Now is the rebuilding. Pluto already destroyed everything through Capricorn. We already went through all that. Like, how many years did I talk about that, Renee? Like, how many times did you hear me go on and on when Pluto gets to Aquarius, it's we're here. It's now. We're rebuilding now. And we aren't doing that in traditional ways. This is not about things that have been done before. This is Aquarius. This is things that have never been done before. This is pure, raw creativity. That means, as I've always talked about astrology, those invisible antennae that reach up on top of all of our heads, that go completely out there beyond anything we can see, touch, or know, and bring in brand new information so that we can solve this mess that we're in with new, fresh insights, new innovation, new ideas. And so that means that if you don't have a fresh new idea and you find yourself still spouting off the old traditional way, then shut up and get out of the way, because the younger folks have ideas. So if you're one of the people that is still holding on to the past and the old way of doing things, that time is over. And that's okay. I'm not telling you to change, but just get out of the way and let the younger folks have their time to change things, and just sit back and watch and support them.
Yeah.
Just let them do their thing, and accept the fact that things are constantly changing. And if we don't let things change, we die. That's
right.
That's a law of science and evolution. If you don't change, you die. So, and I don't mean to upset anyone who has more conservative ways of feeling and thinking at all. There is a time, and there are places where having conservative ways of being are very important. But when you're in the middle of a big old mess like we are, where it's clear that the old ways are dying and we need to make way for newness and change, because our system is so broken and it's so corrupted that it's not serving us anymore, and you can see that the younger generations are truly suffering, then it's just time to get out of the way.
Yeah.
But if you still want to be engaged and you want to stay flexible and you want to have a rebirth along with, and you want to stay in the game, then it's time to just surrender to the moment and let go of everything you ever thought you knew, and just be open and let those antennae go out and sit in quiet and receive. Just be
Well,
ready
and I
to
heard
receive.
Barbara Marx Hubbard one time say, this is the only time in our evolution that we're choosing how we want to evolve. Our consciousness has gotten to that point where, before it had to be we're coming out of the water and, we need feet, we need lungs, we're evolving that way. But this is the first time we get to choose how we want to evolve.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
it's a powerful time.
that's how conscious we are. That's
Yes, yes.
how our consciousness has evolved, and it isn't stopping. Like as the things like the telepathy tapes have proven, consciousness is now going beyond how we've known it to exist between like verbal communication.
Yes, yes.
It's happening between minds now.
Well, and the cool part is this evolution and change that we're going through is so supported with the astrology. Like you can't make this shit
I
up.
know. No matter how much I may be like, well, can it possibly work?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm going on 25 years of it just somehow working. Like, I don't know what you do at that point. Like, what do I say? Like,
But not
this
just
works.
somehow working, like we couldn't design it any better.
No.
If we were sitting down like, okay, let's make this transit here and this one there, we
Yeah.
couldn't have done it any better.
No,
So
I
it's
know.
amazing.
I know.
Yeah.
So let's look at the calendar a little bit to just give people some framework around the events, because I do like to give people dates. Um, so coming up first on January 26th, Neptune will re-enter Aries for good. So we're in the very, very last stages of that Neptune in Pisces. Now, for all of us, that's the last time in our life. Like Neptune starts a brand new cycle starting in Aries, and that's it for us. Like we're on this journey. I mean, it's so exciting. It does bring the spirit of revolution. I could go on and on about the correlations with the past. Like, do some Googling and it will blow your mind about the things that happened before with Neptune in Aries. But all you have to do is look around and you'll see, oh, yeah, that's happening again. It's different. It's colored differently because we have evolved when it comes to how we have a revolution. But we're having one. That's for sure. And people are suffering. They aren't suffering in the same way, but we are suffering, and it is our responsibility as a community and a society to be aware of that. With the Aquarian energy, with Pluto in Aquarius, it is not about the me anymore. It's about the we. And there is a reason that our consciousness has evolved to be more collective, and the reason why our technology has evolved to be more collective, because you can't shut it out. You cannot pretend like you don't know what's happening up your street. And if you don't know and you hear those whistles blow, you can't pretend you don't know why those whistles are being blown up your street. You cannot not know what's going on. And so it is a time to be in the collective. Now, there is a large portion of currently becoming smaller portion of our collective that is the Pluto in Leo generation. Okay, the Pluto in Leo generation. Let me see. I have it here. I got some dates out. Generally, it's born between 1939 1957. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, it's probably a lot of your clients, I would think, Renee. Some of your clients of that time, now, Pluto in Leo is considered the me generation because it's Leo. Leo is about me. I'm the star. I'm the center of the universe. It's the sun. The sun rules Leo. Like it's exactly the way it should be. That's why it got called the me generation in the 80s. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So now I don't know that this includes you, right? Does it?
No, I'm
No.
not quite that old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I didn't think so. I didn't think so. But this is the generation that is currently aging out and passing on and passing the torch. For those folks who may be listening, now, I ascribe to a school of astrology called evolutionary astrology, and I'm leaning more and more into it because I am more curious about the soul than I am about so much of the humanity of things. Like, I really get juiced up on the soul stuff, and that's what evolutionary astrology is. And in evolutionary astrology, they really focus on Pluto. Like, Pluto is your soul in the chart. And so the opposite of your Pluto is it called the Pluto point? I can't remember the exact term, but it's literally the opposite of wherever Pluto is in your chart. That is a very important part of your chart that is is a point that you're supposed to really focus on, which for these folks would be Aquarius. Okay. So again, if you are a Pluto in Leo generation person, the way to stay relevant and to stay vital and to stay a part of the story and to stay involved and engaged in the world and what's going on is to focus not on you anymore. It is on the we. This is the time to go across from Leo all the way to Aquarius and say, it's my time to look at what's going on outside of me and see, how can I now assist? How can I assist? Go ahead.
Yeah, which is cool because typically when we age, we understand more when we get to a certain point that it isn't about me anymore. It's about our families, our community, all of
Yes.
that. So it makes sense that this generation would be aging into that
Yes.
fully now.
Yes, but it can be rougher. It's called the me generation for a reason. And this is not to call anyone selfish or
No.
egotistical. It's just the time you were born, the way the world worked. There's a certain amount of entitlement in that generation because that's the way the world was. It catered to a certain it's just the way that it was, it's why we have generations of people that have a lot of commonalities. It's just how they grew up and what the world was like as they grew up and what the parenting styles were like and all of these things, okay, that made them who they are as a generation. And so if only if you are feeling disenfranchised or disconnected or feeling like you're on your way out of the story and that is bothering you and it's bothering you and you don't understand why you feel left out of things right now, then you need to look outside yourself and get engaged in how you can mentor and help with whatever you've learned throughout all of the years you've been here. And how can you pass that energy on and wisdom on? And how can you assist right now? And
Yeah.
that's because there's no time at which you need to say, I'm out, I'm done, unless you want to. And that's okay too. But if you are feeling like, oh, I'm out, I guess I'm out now, you don't have to be. That's just all I'm saying. This rebirth year is for you too. It's for everyone on the planet. So I don't care if you're 80 years old. If you feel like having a rebirth year, this is your year too. It just may mean you need to stretch across and further outside yourself than you ever thought you could go. And
So
yeah, go ahead.
so we have Neptune in Aries contributing to this rebirth year, but we also have
Yes.
Saturn in Aries.
Yes,
It,
Saturn is also moving into Aries, which, it's so for a large amount of people, including like my sister who was born in 1967, and then even my kids who were born in 1996, 98. Those generations are having their Saturn returns, their first Saturn return and their second Saturn return. So now I'm thinking more about those people having their second Saturn return because I think that's more of the people that are listening to this podcast. And those are some dynamite, fierce women. I'm so excited about the women having their second Saturn returns in Aries right
I
now.
know, I know.
I
I
mean,
was just talking to my friend Linda about this, who has her second Saturn return coming up. And it was like,
yes,
whoa. And
yeah.
she's just getting started in life.
I mean, these women are the women who have been giving and giving and giving and giving of themselves their whole lives because these are people who struggle with Aries. So Saturn is where we are a little insecure. So it isn't people where Aries is natural. It's not the people where I'm a fierce warrior Aries woman, hear me roar. It's not those people. These are the people who have been holding themselves back because they struggle more with the I am identity of who they are. Now, maybe some of them have other planets in Aries and that might help a little, or it depends on the rest of their chart. But a lot of these Aries Saturn people, that's where they struggle with self-confidence, with putting themselves up and saying, I am, and I don't care if anyone is standing behind me. I don't need anyone else. I'm standing up here by myself. I am taking the charge. I am the pioneer. I'm going where I want to go. And I don't care if anyone follows me. I just know I want that. And I'm going to get that. I'm going right now. You come or don't come. I don't care. I'm not looking behind me. I'm just going to get what I want. Those are the women and men, but I'm mostly talking to women right now because that's kind of where I focus a lot of my energy, is that, this is the time. Like, if not now, when? That's all I got to say to you. If not now, when? Like, this is your time. You are the queen. You are the empress. As Taylor Swift says, you're the man. Like, it's, if not now, when are you ever going to get your turn? Like, you're running out of time. Like, this is your turn. So for those Aries women, Aries Saturn women, if you have an idea and if you have a desire, it's mainly like coming from that desire place with Aries. It's like, I want it. I want it. Then you can have it. Just go get it. Just don't think about too much. Just go get it. And if you say, but, just, smack yourself in the face if you say, but. No, it's
but
no
I
but.
can't. But
Yeah,
yes,
there's no
exactly.
but. You just go have what you want. Just go get it. Nothing will make Saturn happier with you than for you to go have exactly what you want.
So the big event, or you call it the big event, I call it the big one, is this Saturn Neptune conjunction.
Yeah. So that's happening. So Saturn re-enters Aries on February 13th. So January 26th, we get Neptune. February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day, we get Saturn. So then by Valentine's Day, we're fully cooking in this new brew. Like, this is where we are now, fully reborn. And it is time to just get to work. Don't wait for spring. Just get busy. Aries,
Well, and I think
Aries just does things.
You get shit done.
Yeah.
Not only that, a week after Saturn moves into Aries, then is the Lunar New Year, I believe, which we're going into the year of the horse.
Oh, okay. Now I don't track that stuff as much. So you tell me about that.
Yeah. So we've been in the year of the snake, shedding the old stuff, our old skin. Year of the fire horse is like full fucking speed ahead.
Oh, I love that. Like a galloping horse, wild and free. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Aries does not think too much. It just acts. It's often called the pioneer. And then I've said this many times. There's a movie with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. It's an old movie now, but I never forget it because it really showed they're Irish immigrants and they're going to stake their claim in like Oklahoma. I will never forget this scene because they make it so visceral that when they say, hey, you get this land, but you have to run and drive your own stake into the ground and say, this is mine. Now, we all recognize that it's stolen land. We know that. Okay, that sucks. But the energy is what I'm talking about, is the energy of saying, I have to run with this piece of wood in my hand. And if I can run fast enough and get to a spot, I can put a piece of wood in this earth. And this now gets to be my land. Like,
I remember that scene and talk about including all of these things on a horse.
Yes.
Claiming what you want, this full speed ahead energy.
It's insane. Like,
it is insane.
That's what really happened. I mean, that's really what these pioneers did. And that is the energy that we're talking about this year. Like, just you've had plenty of time to think and dream. We've had Neptune in Pisces since 2011. You had plenty of time. You don't need to dream anymore. You don't need to imagine. You've had the time. Now it's time to just throw shit against the wall. Like, just get busy. Just do. No more dreaming. No more, oh, I'm still imagining it. Oh, I'm still creating my vision. No more vision boards.
Yes.
Throw your vision board away. It's time to just make things do happen, like do things.
Which is really interesting because so often lately I've gotten messages from the spirit guides, like we used to set intentions and then we would repeat it 100 times a
Yes.
day and we would do our vision boards and we would do all that, which I love and it's fun, but also just set the fucking intention and then be done with it. And
Do
so
it.
it is,
And then just do something.
Yes.
Something. And that's what Aries does. It just does something. It may not be the right thing, the best, it may not be the best thing, but it's something. And if you, and something that I loved that I heard on this podcast this morning, the author Elizabeth Gilbert, she wrote Eat, Pray, Love. What she said was so cool. She said, if you want to have that new thing that needs to be born, this new idea, this new story, this new song, this new design, this whatever it is, and you want to give birth to it, you want to create it, you can't just be cleaning your house and going about, the mundane things of life and watching TV and doom scrolling and think that it's just going to magically appear in front of you. You have to be sitting down and in the headspace and with your pen in your hand or your hands at the keyboard or your paintbrush in your hand or whatever it is, and you have to be there in the flow so that you can catch it. You have to put in the practice. You have to do it every day, or you're not going to just catch it like that, And so it's about doing. It's about doing, and just being in the state and being ready for that, whatever it is, to just channel into you, because it's all out there all the time. And the way they said it was so cool. It's like new ideas and new art. Let's just call it art, right? It comes to our collective when our collective needs it. And that's why when something hits a wave, like Stranger Things, right? The mass success of Stranger Things came to us because there was a need for it in our collective. And it's those two writers, those brothers, that caught that wave one day, that they caught this idea and started riffing off each other and talking and being like, what if? Oh, wouldn't this be cool? And then they just kept working and working and working. They got rejected like 25, 50 times.
Yeah.
And they just
those people are kicking themselves now, huh?
They kept pitching and pitching, and they didn't give up because they believed that it was meant to exist. And the idea itself decided, I must exist. And if it doesn't happen, then it's going to pass on to someone else.
Yes.
And someone else will pick it up out of the collective soup, and someone else will create it. Like, that's how it works.
And as you're talking about us being in this creative time right now with this revolution, that's when art happens. That's when the great music and paintings and all of the stuff that stirs our soul happens. And so I have a few clients that are artists, and it's their time. If you were an artist right now, or if you wanted to be an artist, this is the time.
It is. I mean, I feel it just in the air, like as we're talking about it. I'm just getting so excited because I feel like this is the time when like I talk about the theory of chaos all the time, because this is that edge where mass creation happens, because it's like, this is where something needs to save us from ourselves now. The powers that be are the snake eating its tail. They're just a mess out there. They have nothing to offer us. They're completely out of our story right now because they're over there just being messy. And us over here, we've got to save ourselves.
Yeah. And interesting that we're talking about the snake eating us, that we're coming out of the year of the snake.
Yes.
I don't know. I just love all this shit. They're still over there.
Going in circles, exactly. And we're over here like, well, y'all are just a bag of mess over there. and we over here, we've got all this creative juice to work with. And we've got all this energy that's stirred up because we're in a revolution. And now what we've got to do is just make magic out of this. Use this magical time that we're in. And we're going to now step up the we, the people, the we, the Aquarius. This is where Pluto, we're just getting started with Pluto and Aquarius. Like, we're just getting started. Now, let's talk about Uranus and Gemini, because that's happening too. And that is a big deal. So Uranus has moved out of Gemini and moving back fully in April. Okay. So Uranus and Gemini is a big deal because Uranus, is the ruler of ideas and epiphanies and breakthroughs and like lightning, like talk about breakthroughs in technology, breakthroughs in consciousness, breakthroughs in just mass ways we communicate, breakthroughs in circuitry, and just how when you talk about consciousness, I mean, that's it, right? So we're going to have that going on along with Pluto and Aquarius, along with Neptune and Aries. Like, this trifecta is crazy, and they are all sextile. So Uranus and Pluto are going to be trine, and Neptune is in Aries. They make the top of a kite, right? They make what I call a sexty. It's a formation between a trine and two sextiles. It's like a long flat triangle in the chart. And if you look at the transits this year, especially over the last few months, where all the planets were kind of moving along this quadrant of Sagittarius, Scorpio, and then now into Capricorn, they were just making kite after kite after kite with that trifecta up there, which is why things were just going nuts, right? So now as things start to move on, we still have that sextile, that sexty, that's just going to sit there as these three planets, move really slow, together. They move all very slowly, and they're just going to stay in that formation, all in harmony with each other. And we get to just benefit from that, from Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus all working together for us. And we just get to benefit from it if we're paying attention, if we're in flow. So whatever it is that gets you there in flow, and you know what I mean by that, right?
That's my work.
Yeah,
that's my job. Yeah.
So if whatever gets you in flow, and for most people, it's creativity. Most people, and I also heard recently that the antidote to anxiety is creativity.
I could see that. I'm going to throw nature in there too, because being out in nature, creativity, your spiritual practice that you've been building, all the things.
Yes. But it's even proven with brain science that you cannot be worrying about something while you're also creating something.
Yeah, because you're present when you're creating. You can't worry if you are present.
And then I heard that reinforced today on this podcast, where this brain scientist was like, you cannot, the parts of your brain that are lit up when you are doing creative work, they don't make any room for you to be anxious.
Yep.
So if you are suffering from anxiety, you just need to be creating. It's that simple. And one knocks out the other. Like, those two things cannot simultaneously exist in your brain at the same time. It just cannot. So if that ain't a great way to beat anxiety, I don't know what is. And then you're also creating, you're making something that is new and didn't exist here before. Like, what could be better? So if you don't have a way of getting into flow state, do you have any recommendations for that, Renee? I know you do that work. So, and I know there's some great books out there and things, but like, what do you tell your clients about that?
Well, I'm going to say, once again, nature. Get outside in nature. That vibe of nature is the abundance vibe, and that is our calm energy.
Yeah.
So just, the old stuff, go hug a tree.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's true that is the ultimate creative source is nature.
Right.
So you're going back to source, basically.
Well, and we forget that we are part of nature.
Well, yeah, we are.
Yeah, duh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean it's and again, as a brave Aries will, if you don't know what that thing is that will get you into flow or be help you learn how to be creative, just try shit.
Try a bunch of stuff. Totally.
Get it
And
paint by numbers if you don't know. Like
paint by numbers. I
anything.
just am taking a ceramics class right now,
Yes.
even the other stuff, yoga, breathing,
Yes.
watching the sunrise.
Yes.
Just, it doesn't have to be hard.
No, no, not at all. No.
Yeah.
And then you just take little steps.
Yes.
Little steps.
Yes.
Yeah. If you are feeling at all like you're trapped in a box, you don't realize that you just kick against the wall and it falls apart and get out and go
Get-
and just change
and
your scenery.
change.
Even just changing your scenery is a really great way to
Totally.
start. Yeah. All
So
right.
that's just those things. Uranus, Pluto, Neptune,
I know it's
Saturn,
a
Aries,
ton.
all the things. But then also the nodes are shifting signs
Yeah, so
again.
this is also really exciting for me because I do have my North Node in Aquarius, and the nodes are moving into Aquarius Leo. So the North Node is moving into Aquarius, South Node into Leo. So for those of you that are born around the time I was in 1971, if you have the nodal axis, and also I happen to know, because I'm a Swiftie, that Taylor Swift also has a North Node in Aquarius. So if you're born around 1989, this is for you that this will be our nodal return this year. So a nodal return is when the nodes go back to where they were when you were born. And anyone who has a nodal return, it's just like a reset for your soul. It's a cosmic reset. It's like, hey, you know, if you aren't already on your fast sidewalk, and for anyone who doesn't know what that means, the North Node is the trajectory of your soul. It's where your soul really wants to go in this life with your body. Your body is their vehicle. It's like, Deborah, take me here. I want to go to Aquarius land in this life. This is the place that I want to play with you in this life. And so I call it the fast sidewalk because everybody knows at the airport, you get on your fast sidewalk, you go where you want to go faster. It's that simple. And so when you have a nodal return, it's just going to bring that alignment to you. It's going to say, Jean, here's your sidewalk. It's right in front of you. I'm putting it right in front of you. Just get on it. So for those of us having that this year, again, that's just reinforcing that generation for Pluto in Leo. Again, this is more reinforcement. Aquarius, it's about all of us. It's not about the you. The time of narcissists is over. The time of egomaniacs is over. And what we're saying by that is the patriarchy is dead. Because that's what patriarchy is. It's top-down power. It's one power over another. It's top down. It's dead. We are flattening it out so that the power dynamic is dead. It's not power over. We are all empowered. We all have the power. We share the power. It doesn't mean you don't have leaders because someone's still going to be good at leading, but that doesn't mean they have all the power.
Right.
They don't
Right.
determine your fate just because they're a good leader.
Yeah.
And just
Well,
because,
and we've had to learn that here with somebody, take attempting and succeeding in many ways, taking all the power so we can see what's broken so it doesn't happen again.
yeah, no,
Y-
hey, we were lost.
Oh, yeah.
We had to go way, 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 way down with the
Yeah,
ship
yeah.
in order to see how lost we were.
We were,
Uh,
yes.
but we see it now. We
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 see
don't
it
need to
now and
go
we're ready.
further. We see it. We see
Yes.
it. We now need to get busy in our own worlds, building up our own worlds and building up our own communities so that any of that bullshit, it's
Right.
meaningless. It's all
Yes.
just silly shit that they're doing. They're going to burn themselves out. We don't need to be in that mess anymore. We just need to be focused on what we want to rebuild and what we want in our lives and for our people around us and for each other. And let them just go down with their own dirty, crappy, horrible mess, right? It's not our circus.
Yeah, it's not our circus. Well, I'm almost can't even believe I'm saying this, but is there anything else? Like that's not enough, you know?
Yeah, well, of course, the eclipses.
Yes.
So we have eclipses in February. We will have a solar eclipse in Aquarius. So that will be exciting. Another little bump from Aquarius. We will have a total lunar eclipse in Virgo in March. We will have a total solar eclipse in Leo in August. So that's where we're playing with the whole moving from Virgo Pisces to Aquarius Leo. So we have Aquarius, then we have Virgo, and then we have Leo, and then we have a lunar eclipse in Pisces in August. So we have February, March eclipses, and then August eclipses. So as we know, eclipses are powerful portals. It's just great to use eclipse energy to launch whatever it is in your life that you are focused on. On eclipses, it's a great time to do magic if you're into that, or just set intentions, or just whatever it is that you want to draw into your life, to just set some time aside to take advantage of that powerful energy that's being that's sort of encapsulated in on those days. And then let's see, I'll just go through these dates just so people have them. June 30th, Jupiter enters Leo. So we'll have Jupiter exiting Cancer. So Jupiter in Leo, I mean, that does bring a spotlight. But the best thing about that is Leo is the sign of creativity. So that's just a
Ah,
further reinforcement of big creativity starting in the beginning of summer. So this can be a creative summer. Like summer can be the time to just play with paint, with whatever is fun and magical for you. And so then we'll have Jupiter in Leo for about a year. And then Uranus in Gemini, trining Pluto in Aquarius. That's like a real trine. Like I know they're in sign trine, but they're like in actual trine July 18th. And also November 29th. So those are hot days where we've got Uranus and Pluto in trine in air signs. So just powerful portals of launching thought, ideas, epiphanies, breakthroughs, all of those things. And then July 26th is when the North Node enters Aquarius, South Node enters Leo, the collective shift from me to we. So let's see, anything else? Uranus will be sextile exactly Neptune in July. Um, Jupiter will be trining Neptune in July. Looks like July might be a pretty magical time where we've got a lot, like I'm talking about that sextile party where a lot of those alignments become like exact. So that will be a time. Looks like it's going to be an exciting summer. And then, of course, there's all the little things like the Mercury retrogrades, but we all know about all that. You know, those come and go. But hey, I just think this is the year where we bring our country back in a sense to ourselves, to our communities, to our families. Like we aren't waiting. We aren't depending on them anymore.
yes.
We cannot be so fucking focused on these buffoons.
Buffoons.
They're
That's a
getting way
great way
too
to
much
put it.
attention. I just think they're getting too much
Yes.
attention. Like too
Yes.
much attention and energy we are wasting on these weirdos.
Well, I haven't been so excited for a year,
Yeah,
and I can't even tell you. Like, I'm so excited for 2026. All the things, the numerology, the brand new 1 year cycle, the year
yeah,
of the fire horse, all this astrology, this
yeah,
powerful, powerful astrology. Everything is just clicking into place to make this year like literally,
yeah,
literally this next start of this next chapter of our lives.
yeah. Now, and one thing I really want to be sure to say, the mess is not over. The mess will still be messy. The headlines will still be messy. That is not over. So if you can, but it's all how you choose to perceive it. Okay. We are in chaos right now, but chaos is a powerful time. Chaos can be the beginning of something incredible. And so it's all in how you choose to perceive the mess. if you're going to see crazy, upsetting headlines. That is not going to stop. But you can either choose to say, "Oh, well, it's hopeless. Oh, we're going downhill. Oh, or you can choose to say, "No, this is a moment where we get to step up, where we get to start creating something better." You can't wait. You have to, if you want to be a part of it, you got to step up now and use your creative forces to make something better. Don't sleep in at this point. This is now. This is the time.
Yeah, this is
If I haven't
definitely
made
the
that
time.
clear.
I think you did. I think you did. Now, we've talked about, of course, the astrology for all of us, the planet this year. But if you want to know what your astrology is for the year ahead, you can get a reading with Deb when you buy our bundle. So it's my yearly cosmic clarity bundle. This year, you get an astrology an hour astrology reading with Deb. You get an hour human design reading with the lovely Candy Duns, and you get a spirit guide channeling session with me. You get all three of those things for only $250. Super duper great deal. There is a link in the show notes, or you can go to my website, abundology.com. One more thing. Starting in January, the January 7th, I'm having a class for the month of January about reinventing yourself. It's shifting your identities, updating your brand, your personal brand. It could be your business brand too, but really reinventing as we're entering this next chapter. I can't think of a better time to be doing this. And it's something I want to do too, and I am doing. So anyway, there would be a link. There's a link in the show notes for that too, if you want to sign up for
I
those
love
classes.
that. Oh
I
my gosh.
know. How fun, huh?
That's perfect. Perfect
Yeah.
for this year.
Perfect
Yeah.
timing. Yes. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for being here, Deb.
You're welcome. I'm so happy to be here and to work with your amazing clients again. It's my honor, truly the most amazing people that I get to work with through you, Renee. It is such an honor to me. Such incredible souls that are attracted to what you do. And it's just such a privilege and honor for me. So thank you.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And thank you for listening. And we'll catch you again next time.